Hey, good morning from beautiful downtown Blue Ridge, Georgia. We're in North Georgia here, and again, one more week. We are at Sycamore Crossing at downtown Blue Ridge. The weather is beautiful. We wanted to do our last show outdoors here, and I will say this: we're going to stay in Blue Ridge on Friday. Let me make this announcement at the beginning of the show. My name is I go by BKP. That's it. BKP, and you're watching FYNTV.com. Call your friends, tell them that's that simple, FYNTV.com. Next Friday, we will officially be moving to the Vault. We will be, do you know where the Vault is? It was L&L Beanery. They completely remodeled it. They went in there, they just stripped the whole place out, started over. Awesome place. Full breakfast menu. If you're looking for somewhere in Blue Ridge to stop and have breakfast this morning, you can go over to the Vault. But next week, this show will officially be at the Vault at 8 a.m. and we will be going all winter long. So come over and have breakfast with us. We're going to be watch on Facebook. We're going to be putting up specials for the Vault. For Fridays, we're going to have a Friday special, FYNTV, FetcherNews.com special. Come on over and join us for breakfast at the Vault. Have a cup of coffee. But that will be next Friday. We will be over there. Then, we've already signed, a 30-year contract here? No, I'm just joking. But we know next year, as soon as the weather permits, we'll be right back out here. So we look forward to going to the Vault. We've enjoyed this summer right up here into fall at Sycamore Crossing. Our last broadcast here this year. Let me tell you a couple things we have to go over. We have a packed show this morning. Yes, we are 4 days before an election, and we're going to talk about that. Here's a couple things. First of all, when we get into our election discussion, just a little note, 29%, as of noon yesterday, 29% of Fannin County registered voters had taken advantage of early voting. 29%. They've never seen this before. Never have. We'll talk about that more and why that's important nationally when we get to our election segment that we're going to have this morning. A little football news before we get started. Gilmer Senior Night. It's Senior Night down in Gilmer at Huff Mosley Field. They're at home. They'll be taking on Lafayette. Pickens is traveling over to play Heritage, and everybody's watching that region, Quad A, Region 6. So the Pickens Dragons are traveling to take on Heritage. The Fannin Rebels, your Fannin Rebels, are traveling tonight to take on East Hall. I hear the train in the background there, Cole. That's just, you're in Blue Ridge when you hear the engines of the train starting to kick up. Fannin will be traveling over to East Hall, and the Dawson Tigers. Now, this is one most high school sports fans will be watching and paying attention to tonight. It's 3A Region 7 football, but the Dawson Tigers will be at home against Greater Atlanta Christian School. I am telling you right now, a lot of people around the state will be watching this game tonight. And the Union Panthers will host Lumpkin. Don't forget, it is fallback weekend, meaning it's time to turn your clocks back, okay? Time to turn your clocks back. Now, FetcherNews.com, Fannin County, you can go to FetcherNews.com, you go to Fannin County, go to Gilmer County, see the burn ban. You can see the updates on the Cohutta Wildlife updates, the fires. Folks, you need to check your county. But I can tell you this morning, I know for a fact, Pickens County, Gilmer County, Fannin County, Union County have a total burn ban in effect. What does that mean? Can't burn your leaves? No. If you're raking the leaves up and you want to burn them? No. If you are burning the trash? No. A total burn ban is in effect. We have major Cohutta Wildlife out in the Cohutta Wildlife. We have major fires out there. We will have a representative from the USFS, the United States Fire Service, and Fannin EMA with us for a brief moment this morning to give us an update. That'll be right around 8:45 this morning. And in just a couple minutes, we'll have Dr. Tidman with us. Now, I have known for several years this past week was coming with Obamacare. I have known that, but I'm not a healthcare professional. So we want to talk a little bit about insurance. So we're going to ask Dr. Tidman some questions about insurance this morning and get his perspective. And that's our segment, Ask the Doc, coming up in just a couple minutes. So I told him we're at Sycamore Crossing. I told him we're at Blue Ridge. I told him the background noise, Cole, is the train in Blue Ridge. I've told everybody that I have told everybody about the vault. I haven't told you about Carla's pick at Tupelo Tea, okay? At 10 o'clock every Friday morning, Carla here at Tupelo Tea fixes something. I have no idea what it's going to be, and I enjoy that. Broken Bull and the new Blue Home and Gift. I've told you all of that, but what did I leave out? Oh, we have some Cubs fans with us today, okay? I leave the best for last. We are going to have a guest this morning that was at Game 3 of Wrigley Field for the World Series. That's our guest this morning. We're going to talk about that. And today, Chicago, sorry folks, I always ruin a good thing. I can't help it. But they've called a ceasefire in Chicago so they could have a parade. I know, I could have done without saying that, right? So, but anyhow, Chicago fans will be having their parade, and we are excited for them, for the Cubs fans in Chicago. And again, we will be having one of our special guests today is a guy that got to go and see the World Series at Wrigley Field. We're going to talk about that, so we have a Cubs fan with us. Now, this long list of things to do this morning, I'm not leaving out, we have 4 days before an election, okay? Now, every election cycle, we hear this is the most important election in our lifetime. This is the election of all elections. This is it, okay? At 9 o'clock, we are going to start our election discussion, political discussion at 9 o'clock. You are welcome to come down Sycamore Crossing here, sit down with us. We want to hear from you. We have some guests that will be with us today, but you are welcome to come down and join us. We have plenty of room at 9 o'clock. There's only 4 days before this election, and discuss it. We're gonna have about a 40-minute election discussion at 9 o'clock. And as always, we end the week with the star of the show all week long, our pet of the week from the Humane Society of Blue Ridge. That is actually my favorite. You know what we should have done, Cole? We should have had a pet of the week segment one time. We should have dressed like one pet up as Hillary and one pet as Clinton, and we should have had a pet of the week debate. That would have been fun.
Oh, yeah.
Huh?
Yeah, that would have been fun.
Okay. Again, all right. Folks, we know there are emails on Anthony Weiner's laptop that we know there are, yes.
You want me over there or not?
Yes.
We're not on.
Okay, we're not on.
Nope.
All right, let me check.
Yeah, I got you pulled up right here.
You're streaming?
Yes.
Sorry about that. So maybe he's not streaming? Just double checking our stream this morning. We had a note from somebody saying the stream was not working, but you are streaming? Okay. We apologize for that inconvenience. We try to take the calls to make sure we are streaming here. Let me just double check something technically. Make sure we're all on the same page. But we know that the I'm not streaming,
I am around.
but you're on CityLink
Yes, sir.
and it's running.
It's running right now.
Have we been running all along?
Yeah.
That's weird because I'm not. That's strange. Okay. So, anyhow, I'm going to take a brief break just to make sure our technical things are working. Cole has it streaming. Some people have called and said it's not. So we're going to take a brief break to make sure the stream is working properly, which we feel it might be, and it might be some technical issues on some other ends. So we'll take a brief break, and we'll be right back after these messages.
Pizza Hut makes great pizza, but they can't tell you what a gift it is. I can. They took a grilled cheese and combined it with stuffed crust pizza. To think, I almost wasn't here to try it.
How did
It's
you?
not important, Jen. What's important is that I watched the sunrise this morning. Then I got to stand in a room filled with this pizza. And later I'll stare at the ocean. Or maybe I'll learn Russian. Or listen to jazz. Or try my hand at needlework. Or open a door for a beautiful woman. Or read a human interest story or make dessert wine. Or ride a wild horse. Or experiment with watercolors. Eat every slice like it's your last. Especially you, Doug. Especially Doug, right? You care about Doug. The grilled cheese stuffed crust pizza. Proof that no one outpieces the Hut.
This is the big one, the 20% off MSRP model year end clearance at Days Chevrolet in Jasper, with huge savings over $3,600 off the redesigned Malibu. Now just $20,400. Save over $8,600 off Silverado Crew Cab LT. Now just $33,500. 20% off new Chevys. Right here, right now, at Days Chevrolet in Jasper.
Better days ahead, Days Chevrolet.
Find new roads.
El Rey and Ellijay.
El Rey Mexican Restaurant.
Family owned and operated, and a local favorite for families, parties, and meetings.
Great prices.
Friendly service and delicious Mexican cuisine.
Patio dining available.
Come sing in Carlos's Cantina every Friday 9 to 1.
Eat in or take away.
Same location for 14 years. Open 7 days at the corner of Maddox Drive and 515. North Georgia's favorite Mexican cuisine. El Rey and Ellijay.
Pizza Hut makes the best pizza in the entire universe, but they won't tell you that. I've been marooned on this planet for a while now. You are an impressive race. Your children know excellent hiding places. Your oceans aren't filled with lava. And you figured out how to combine a grilled cheese sandwich with a Pizza Hut pizza. Surely interstellar travel will soon follow. And then I can finally get back home. Round. Round like home. The grilled cheese stuffed crust pizza. Proof that no one out-pizzas the Hut.
Pizza Hut makes great pizza, but they can't tell you what a gift it is. I can. They took a grilled cheese and combined it with stuffed crust pizza. To think, I almost wasn't here to try it.
How did
It's
you?
not important, Jen. What's important is that I watched the sunrise this morning. Then I got to stand in a room filled with this pizza. And later I'll stare at the ocean. Or maybe I'll learn Russian. Or listen to jazz. Or try my hand at needlework. Or open a door for a beautiful woman. Or read a human interest story or make dessert wine. Or ride a wild horse. Or experiment with watercolors. Eat every slice like it's your last. Especially you, Doug. Especially Doug, right? You care about Doug. The grilled cheese stuffed crust pizza. Proof that no one outpieces the Hut.
Better days ahead.
This is the big one. The 20% off MSRP model year end clearance at Days Chevrolet in Jasper. With huge savings over $3,600 off the redesigned Malibu. Now just $20,400. Save over $8,600 off Silverado Crew Cab LT. Now just $33,500. 20% off new Chevys. Right here, right now. At Days Chevrolet in Jasper.
Better days ahead. Days Chevrolet.
Find new roads.
El Rey and Ellijay.
El Rey Mexican Restaurant.
Family owned and operated and a local favorite for families, parties, and meetings.
Great prices.
Friendly service and delicious Mexican cuisine.
Patio dining available.
Come sing in Carlos's Cantina every Friday 9 to 1.
Eat in or take away.
Same location for 14 years. Open 7 days at the corner of Maddox Drive and 515. North Georgia's favorite Mexican cuisine. El Rey and Ellijay.
Pizza Hut makes the best pizza in the entire universe, but they won't tell you that. I've been marooned on this planet for a while now. You are an impressive race. Your children know excellent hiding places. Your oceans aren't filled with lava. And you figured out how to combine a grilled cheese sandwich with a Pizza Hut pizza. Surely interstellar travel will soon follow. And then I can finally get back home. Round. Round like home. The grilled cheese stuffed crust pizza. Proof that no one outpizzas the Hut.
And we're back. I'm your host, BKP. We apologize for the stream difficulty, but we are back and everything should be running fine right now. I'm now joined by Dr. Tidman. This segment is brought to you by the Georgia Cancer Specialist. And Dr. Tidman, thank you for being here this morning. And, I want to ask you straight out of the box. I think we talked a little bit during the break about health insurance. Talk a little bit about that. Where do we stand?
Well, this is the time of year a lot of patients ask me about what to do with their health insurance, and the Not So Affordable Care Act has really put a major hammerlock on hospitals and physicians and patients, and it's a hard choice they have to make. So one of the things I sort of back up and ask patients to look at is what are they getting out of their health insurance, and how to best strategize that. It's a subtlety because we're pushed to all have health insurance, and we're given this notion that there's all this free stuff. Well, there's nothing free in life, as our grandparents told us, and it's a difficult decision.
Well, Dr. Tidman, let me ask you, you said this when you said Not So Affordable Care Act. This past week, open enrollment started. This past week, we heard states that are now down to one option in many states. Some areas, people have found out their health care is going to cost 100%. what do you see on a day-to-day with your patients?
I mean, I see one nightmare after another. I mean, you can go through all levels of it. Some folks with Obamacare, like a patient who injured their thumb at work. The employer did not have insurance to cover the injury. He took their Obamacare to an orthopedist. He did not take their insurance. And he had to run down several different layers of orthopedic care into the basement of coverage just to get care for his thumb. And this is a young man working, paying his premiums. So it turned out that his insurance was nearly worthless. Take my employees. Year after year, their health care costs keep going up. My health care costs keep going up. And this year they went up another 25%, and at the same time their deductibles went up another $1,000. So we're going from $5,000 to $6,000 deductibles with co-pays going up. So they're paying more for their insurance. They're getting less out of it. Seniors, Medicare, all these advantage plans, all these secondary insurances. After you're 65 and you have Medicare, your costs are protected. Medicare locks in and fixes prices. So you don't have to worry about negotiating price anymore. But at the same time, you have these what I call predatory insurance companies coming in and selling you secondary policies that you may not even need. If you're a Medicare patient and you're on simple drugs, 1 or 2 drugs, and they're generics, what is that secondary policy getting for you? Almost nothing. Now, if you're very ill on multiple medications, some of them very expensive, certainly a secondary policy is beneficial because they will have negotiated prices that can help you. But otherwise, you're getting a secondary policy for drugs that are otherwise cheap, and they are determining which drugs you can and cannot have. So they become more of a hindrance, and you're paying for it.
Well, let me ask you this. I'm listening to you, and it sounds like a mess.
It's a mess.
I mean, it just sounds. And what about from your side? I mean, as a physician, the doctor, when you come to see a doctor, you want to concern yourself with the health of the patient. How much time are the doctors? I want to say doctors are concerned about the health of their patient. When a patient walks in, a doctor is generally concerned about the health of their patient. But the system is forcing doctors to have to look at every available insurance option, or what can you do, what can't you do? I mean, is it just made a mess?
No, it's a disaster. It's a rolling disaster. There's a recent study that shows just in my line in primary care alone over the last 8 years, there's now a net addition of 1 person in my office just to deal with insurance. It's expensive to employ people. And that's not doing healthcare. That's just dealing with insurance companies. So the burden, there's more and more of a bureaucratic burden by the healthcare insurance industry where they're justifying their existence, but not a net increase in healthcare being delivered. This thing is, as I said, a rolling disaster. It has to be taken out or changed or completely overhauled. It cannot continue like it is. More and more primary care physicians, senior specialists, other physicians are just throwing up their hands and walking away. And that's just cannot continue.
Well, I have been in, I have the same doctor for 16 years, and I go to the doctor and know everybody in there, and I know the office, and I walk in and I look through the little window and I know the ladies or whoever's in there working. And recently I went there, and there was a lady in I could see in there that was sitting at a computer. I did not know. I never seen this person. This person didn't look as though she was trying to get ready to take somebody's blood pressure. She didn't look as though she was getting ready to draw blood or put you on the scales, see what your weight was. None of that was on a computer. So I went in and I was talking to the doctor, and I said, hey, out front you got somebody new. It looks like a new position, because I look at those things. He said, it's a nightmare. That person, this is a small office, that person is there just to try to comply. That's the word. Try to get everything in compliance, submit everything. That's everywhere, isn't it?
Well, it's everywhere, and pervasive through all sorts of things. Here's a great example. I was walking by my nurse one day. She was on the phone doing a pre-cert. And there were a lot of quiet pieces where I was just kind of standing behind her listening to her. She didn't know I was there. And I would hear her give her these really 1 or 2 sentence answers. And then I finally said, Renee, who are you talking to? And she said, United. And I'm like, what are they saying? She goes, it's not a they. And I'm like, what is it? She goes, it's a computer. I'm trying to get this patient's medicine pre-certified. And I said, well, just hang up right there.
Wait a minute. Whoa. I'm sorry to stop you here. You're telling me you're trying to get a patient's medication approved because you got to come back and see if the insurance will approve something. You may prescribe something. They got to go see if the insurance will pay for it, approve it. So she's on the phone. I didn't mean to interrupt you, but I want to absorb this. She's on the phone trying to get a patient.
She's trying to get the medicine approved.
But she is speaking in sentences to a computer.
Right. So
okay, I didn't mean to interrupt you. You just.
Well, I mean, you see how alarmed I was. I'm like,
I'm alarmed too.
These insurance bastards have a machine wasting my human caregiver's time. The goal is not to get the patient the medicine. The goal is to wear down the hospital physician and nurses so they don't ask. That's all it is. And I said, we are not doing this. We're not going to deal with an insurance company if we can't speak to their human. If my humans can't talk to their humans, this is not happening. I am not letting them put a machine in there and put their hand in our face and act like they care. Because that was nothing but a, how can we act like we care? How can we act like we're going to let you get the patient the medicines they need while making it as pain for you as possible? It was just obscene.
I'm alarmed by that because what I hope we're doing this morning here, and Cole, I want to make sure this segment gets cut immediately and gets up because this is great information out there. But what we hear from the media is healthcare. We hear rising premiums, which is true. Okay, we hear that, but we don't hear enough about this is costing the American people in enormous ways that is unforeseen. Your office, having somebody sit on the phone. I have left, a friend of mine's a physician down at LJ, I have left their office, seen somebody on the phone, ran across the street, went back over to say something else to my friend, and the person was still, and they were still on the phone with the same person. 5-10 minutes. And that's not uncommon.
And that's nothing to do with healthcare.
Nothing to do with healthcare.
So here, I mean, here's the other. Get this little nuance. The insurance companies are all telling how they're pulling out of Obamacare or the Affordable Care Act. It's not. They're losing money, they say, and they're saying that. Okay, what are the profits in the insurance companies this year? Through the roof. Okay, what are the premiums that they're charging to small employers like myself? Higher. Here's the other piece. What are the reimbursements to physicians like myself? Lower. So they turn around and they tell you that they're losing money, that healthcare costs are going up, while they're paying doctors less and increasing the burden in the doctor's office. Now that's a big lie. And no one's calling them on it.
I was waiting for the equal. This plus this plus this plus this equals a big lie. Why are they pulling out of the states? Why are they giving the impression that they're struggling under this when actually if you look at their profits, they're up. Okay, why are they giving this impression to the people out here?
Well, it's the same game that supposedly the Affordable Care Act fixed. Insurance companies don't want to take care of sick people. They don't want to take care of the folks that are high cost, high dollar, have a lot of stuff going on. Their game is to avoid those people, right? Now, with the quote Affordable Care Act, they thought they were going to get premiums from a bunch of healthy young people. Well, healthy young people are saying, I'm not doing that. You know, I got other things I want to spend my money on. So all of this quote windfall of money they thought they were going to get from all these young people that they were going to start insuring is not showing up, and they're getting sick people who didn't heretofore have health care. So they're not getting what they wanted, they're getting what they didn't want, and the balance is not there. I mean, I'm a business person. I believe in capitalism. I believe in the profit margin. But I don't believe in game playing and finger pointing and crony capitalism. And that's all that we've got going on here.
Well, I think I'll share with you, I don't think we're upset that a business is working, playing by the rules and making money. I'm not bothered by that in the least. I'm with you 100% there. I think what is most upsetting is we knew these things and they pushed it on us anyway. I remember, seems like it was just yesterday, being 22 and somebody telling me I needed insurance. Okay. I remember bumping into a gentleman one day, about 24 years old, and he said, "You need life insurance." Yeah, really? Okay, that's what I need to do. I need to give you $10. So we knew statistically, we knew the mood of, 20 to 30 years old has not changed. It may be different technology, colleges, there may be major differences in 20 to 30 year olds from 50 years ago to now, but the one thing that's not different is their feeling on their health of, I don't need that yet. That's not changed.
Right.
Would you agree with that?
I totally agree.
So we knew ahead of time that this generation wasn't going to say, oh, I need to run and get a healthcare policy. We knew that.
Yeah.
So lack of signing up, well, the only thing left is to force them to sign up.
Yeah.
What is your concern on the outcome? Let me close with that. What is your concern on the outcome? I mean, what do you think needs to be done? We hear all the disaster, but what needs to be done to get us to provide the greatest health care in the world, which we do, and get us to have a balance of good insurance premiums that are fair and balanced. Everybody's making a living and going to the doctor.
So it's, in a nutshell, very simple, and it's very similar to what Dr. Ben Carson, whom I'm a very strong advocate of Ben Carson, what he was proposing. We need to go back to insurance being what insurance is. You don't buy car insurance to replace your car battery or your car tires. You don't buy house insurance to fix your screen door. Insurance should be for catastrophic events. So we should be buying health insurance to take care of us if we get cancer or if we've got to have our heart replaced or some other terrible thing. So that's where insurance should be moved. And then we should put programs in place that encourage people to get their checkups done and give them resources or savings or portable accounts that they can move across state line and move across businesses that help them manage their day-to-day healthcare expenses. But all of that should be encouraged where the individual now is making the economic decision, because cost will come down when those eyeballs are on the ball. Costs are never going to come down when insurance companies who make money, the more money is spent. They're making it on the margin. You will never see cost come down with third-party payers, quote, controlling cost. The cost will come down when the public, when the patients ask the question and the doctor sincerely answers, do I need that? Is there a less affordable way to do that? Is this what's appropriate? That's how you start bringing costs down. And that's what Ben Carson has advocated, putting systems like that in place. That takes a top-down, strong leader approach, because it's an overhaul of what we've been doing. We right now have a monopoly or oligopoly of insurance companies in bed with the government who are running one big shell game on the public.
Well, this is an example. I've enjoyed the information this morning, Dr. Tidman, and this is an example of what I was talking about of, we didn't really talk healthcare this morning, as far as different things that people may be suffering from or concerned about in their health. We talked about healthcare, insurance, and that is what's monopolizing, in a lot of ways, these offices. And I know, for one, you and physicians want to focus on your patients.
Yeah.
And this has to stop, because it is generally taking away from actually a lot of physicians being able to put the time and focus on their patients, and that's where it needs to be. And these struggles of the I don't know, it's going to take me all day, all weekend to get over that you were getting an approval for medication with a computer. That one's good. That was going to take me. that obviously upset you, Dr. Tidman. I appreciate you coming by. Is there anything final that you thought about today that you wanted to make sure we got out and said? We're 4 days before an election. I'm not saying you have to say anything, but I want everybody to get the chance to say something if they would like.
Well, I'm always notorious for trying to find something funny every day, and this is kind of a medical analogy, but it was pointed out just yesterday to me that Bill and Hillary have something in common besides their last name. They have trouble with wieners.
We're going to go to break. I'm your host, BKP. Thank you, Dr. Tidman. Good morning from beautiful downtown Blue Ridge. We're going to have an update on the Cohutta wildfires as soon as we return. Cole, take us to break.
Pizza Hut makes great pizza, but they can't tell you what a gift it is. I can. They took a grilled cheese and combined it with stuffed crust pizza. To think, I almost wasn't here to try it.
How did you?
It's not important, Jan. What's important is that I watched the sunrise this morning. Then I got to stand in a room filled with this pizza. And later I'll stare at the ocean. Or maybe I'll learn Russian. Or listen to jazz. Or try my hand at needlework. Or open a door for a beautiful woman. Or read a human interest story, or make dessert wine. Or ride a wild horse. Or experiment with watercolors. Eat every slice like it's your last. Especially you, Doug. Especially Doug, right? You care about Doug. The grilled cheese stuffed crust pizza. Proof that no one outpieces the Hut.
This is the big one. The 20% off MSRP model year end clearance at Days Chevrolet in Jasper. With huge savings over $3,600 off the redesigned Malibu. Now just $20,400. Save over $8,600 off Silverado Crew Cab LT. Now just $33,500. 20% off new Chevys. Right here, right now. At Days Chevrolet in Jasper.
Better days ahead, Days Chevrolet.
Find new roads.
El Rey and Ellijay.
El Rey Mexican Restaurant.
Family owned and operated, and a local favorite for families, parties, and meetings.
Great prices.
Friendly service and delicious Mexican cuisine.
Patio dining available.
Come sing in Carlos's Cantina every Friday 9 to 1.
Eat in or take away.
Same location for 14 years. Open 7 days at the corner of Maddox Drive and 515. North Georgia's favorite Mexican cuisine. El Rey and Ellijay.
Pizza Hut makes the best pizza in the entire universe, but they won't tell you that. I've been marooned on this planet for a while now. You are an impressive race. Your children know excellent hiding places. Your oceans aren't filled with lava. And you figured out how to combine a grilled cheese sandwich with a Pizza Hut pizza. Surely interstellar travel will soon follow. And then I can finally get back home. Round. Round like home. The grilled cheese stuffed crust pizza. Proof that no one out-pizzas the Hut.
And we're back up now, joined by Robert Pull, Communications Director over here at Fannin County EMA. And folks, yes, we have a serious situation in the wildfires in the National Forest in North Georgia. You are hearing about burn bans, and you're hearing about burn bans, you're hearing about the forest fire, and we're going to get you some updates this morning. We do have a representative from the United States Forest Service that we're going to have 5 or 6 minutes with right after Mr. Poole here. But hey, Mr. Poole, thank you. I know you're busy. Don't mean to pull you guys away. This has been a stressful time up here with these forest fires. Thank you, Mr. Poole, for being on here.
You bet. Thank you.
Our first and foremost thing is the citizens. We get the United States Forest Service, and we do know a lot of what you do and the EMA is doing would defer to them. But obviously, the citizens of the county, the residents, are probably looking to you, the EMA, for answers. Explain a burn ban. I mean, it sounds self-explanatory, but give full details of the burn ban in effect.
Right now at this time, you cannot burn anything outdoors. You know, normally you can burn natural vegetation outside with a permit from Georgia Forestry. Right now, they're not issuing permits, and we have a countywide burn ban. You cannot burn anything, including a campfire. As unfortunate as that is, even if you're up here camping, no campfires. It's been so dry and the humidity is so low. Today is going to be especially challenging with the winds, gusts up to 25, 30 miles an hour. So even something as small as a campfire can pick up an ember and take off and, you know, cause multiple other ground fires.
So we're really concerned with the wind, the mixture, the drought, and the fires that are going on right now. So the burn ban, we're talking about a campfire. We're talking about burning the leaves in the backyard if you rake them.
Everything.
It's a complete burn ban.
Everything. Doesn't matter if it's in a barrel, a pit, a campfire, anything. You cannot burn anything outdoors at this time.
Okay, now how let's talk to the citizens. How should they be concerned? We are seeing the heavy smoke. We are seeing, we can smell it. What are the concerns right now to the citizens on how close this is getting to resident? Is it getting next to any residential areas that you're aware of?
The closest it's come is to the Jones Settlement, which is out at the end of Highway 2, pretty remote area. And we were contacted by the fire management officer from U.S. Forest Service, I believe November 1st, and we sent an engine, a tanker, and a brush truck, and initially 7 personnel. We dropped that down to 3 to 4 that night, and we stayed all night by some structures. They do have some isolated structures out there, small cabins, no power, water, you know, just old small cabins. And we stayed there and just watched those structures. And the next day, they moved us out. The fire had burned out. They had lines around those structures.
So the residential areas right now, it's been contained to a point where the residential areas are not in a threat at this time.
Yes, correct.
But that's where the burn ban is very important to pay attention to that. Let me ask you something else also. I know you may not know all of them, but off the top of your head, do you know how many other counties surrounding that is all in North Georgia in a burn ban? I know you can't speak for them, but you guys are obviously in communication with a lot of them.
I looked at a map the other day. In fact, it's on our Facebook. We try to keep the citizens updated best we can through our Facebook.
And what's the name of that Facebook page?
If you'll search for Fannin County Emergency Management Agency, it'll pop up.
Fannin County Emergency Management Agency Facebook page.
Just like our page, follow us, and we try to keep it. Right now, there's several maps on there, and I believe I put one on there that had the counties that were under a burn ban, and a lot of the whole state is under
a burn ban,
other than the coastal area.
Have you guys been communicating with some of the other surrounding counties, because the forest does touch on several counties? Are you guys all in communication, know where everything is moving?
Our fire chief, I believe he said there was as much as 5 agencies involved at this time with this one that's burning now, so they're all in communication with each other. Especially for mutual aid. If something were to happen and it overwhelm us, we have mutual aid agreements with surrounding counties that we could even utilize their resources if they had them available.
How is Fannin County assisting? What is Fannin County's role, and how is Fannin County assisting the United States Fire Service?
We don't do anything unless we're requested by them. And when we sent those crews out and the engine and the tanker and the brush truck, we were requested from them to come in and watch those structures. So pretty much we just wait for them to request our assistance. It's their jurisdiction, it's on National Forest. And when they request our assistance, we will provide it in any way we can in any capacity we can.
With these high winds, and we're feeling winds this morning, and with a total burn ban, and if somebody does not follow that and a fire starts, what should people report? How can people communicate to you if there's something they see or something they need to make you aware of?
They can call 911, or they can call, we have a non-emergency number for our 911 center, which is 706-632-6022. But if they can't remember that, just call 911. Especially today with these winds, it can get out of control quick with the
Out of
wind tide.
control quick, and we want to stress campfires, zero burn.
No burning whatsoever.
Sir, thank you very much. We appreciate it. We've got the emergency management here in Fannin County. We're going to take a brief break, and we're going to bring in a representative from the United States Forest Service that's going to tell us actually what's going on inside the fire area, and as soon as but total burn ban. Not even a campfire. You heard that here. Call 911. It could get out. If you see a small fire, we don't want to say alarm. I don't like to say that, but with the winds, it could get out of hand quick. Thank you very much, sir. I appreciate it. We're going to take a brief break. We'll have a representative from the United States Forest Service with us to talk about the Cohutta wildfires.
Pizza Hut makes great pizza, but they can't tell you what a gift it is. I can. They took a grilled cheese and combined it with stuffed crust pizza. To think, I almost wasn't here to try it.
How did you?
It's not important, Jan. What's important is that I watched the sunrise this morning. Then I got to stand in a room filled with this pizza. And later I'll stare at the ocean. Or maybe I'll learn Russian. Or listen to jazz. Or try my hand at needlework. Or open a door for a beautiful woman. Or read a human interest story, or make dessert wine. Or ride a wild horse. Or experiment with watercolors. Eat every slice like it's your last. Especially you, Doug. Especially Doug, right? You care about Doug. The grilled cheese stuffed crust pizza. Proof that no one outpieces the Hut.
This is the big one. The 20% off MSRP model year end clearance at Days Chevrolet in Jasper. With huge savings over $3,600 off the redesigned Malibu. Now just $20,400. Save over $8,600 off Silverado Crew Cab LT. Now just $33,500. 20% off new Chevys. Right here, right now. At Days Chevrolet in Jasper.
Better days ahead, Days Chevrolet.
Find new roads.
El Rey and Ellijay.
El Rey Mexican Restaurant.
Family owned and operated, and a local favorite for families, parties, and meetings.
Great prices.
Friendly service and delicious Mexican cuisine.
Patio dining available.
Come sing in Carlos's Cantina every Friday 9 to 1.
Eat in or take away.
Same location for 14 years. Open 7 days at the corner of Maddox Drive and 515. North Georgia's favorite Mexican cuisine. El Rey and Ellijay.
Pizza Hut makes the best pizza in the entire universe, but they won't tell you that. I've been marooned on this planet for a while now. You are an impressive race. Your children know excellent hiding places. Your oceans aren't filled with lava. And you figured out how to combine a grilled cheese sandwich with a Pizza Hut pizza. Surely interstellar travel will soon follow. And then I can finally get back home. Round. Round like home. The grilled cheese stuffed crust pizza. Proof that no one out-pizzas the Hut.
And we're back. You know, this morning I'm your host, BKP. We're live from downtown Blue Ridge Shops at Sycamore Crossing, and you're watching FYN TV. We are taking very serious. We've been putting on FetcherNews.com on the Fannin County site and sharing it on Facebook. Laura Love has been writing stories there, trying to keep everybody in North Georgia updated on the Cohutta wildfires in the Cohutta National Forest. So we just finished with Fannin County EMA, talking with them. We now are happy to be joined by Susan Blake, Public Information Officer for the United States Forest Service. Thank you, Ms. Blake, for being with us this morning. I know you just got in as part of the team, and you're waiting on some briefings, but give us some generalities. What is it? The stage of the fire, is it the same today as it was yesterday? What are some of the things you can share with us on the status of the fire at this time?
Well, as I understand it this morning, there was minimal fire growth last night. So it was 2,900 acres, a little over that yesterday. So it only grew about 400 acres overnight.
So it grew 400 acres overnight, minimal change in that. Now, does that mean you're getting closer to containing it? And I want to put this out here and let you discuss it, because you know what the challenges are. We have 20-mile-an-hour winds, which obviously has to be something that is a challenge. Some different weather patterns. What are you up against with the weather?
Well, today is a red flag warning day, so that means we have high winds and the possibility of spreading. So that is a concern for firefighters, operational people, so we're taking that into consideration. As early in the morning, you'll see less growth, but as it warms up and the relative humidity lowers, then the potential for spreading is increased.
How many generally, without putting you on the spot on solid numbers, how many people are involved in this trying to contain this fire?
Well, it's well over 100 people now, and other resources have been called in, other equipment. So those have been ordered, and they're en route. So
we have at least 100 involved, engaged now in trying to contain this fire and get it out. But you say other equipment and other resources have been called in. Can you share who that is? What kind of equipment?
Like engines and aircraft and any kind of dozers to help and reinforce the lines. Of course, it's in the wilderness, so we have to do minimal impact suppression. So things of that nature, like dozers, will be outside of the wilderness area to help contain lines, like in the Jones settlement, to reinforce the lines around there.
Well, yes, we were talking about the Jones settlement earlier, because I asked the gentleman from the Fannin County EMA if any residential areas had been impacted or concerned at this time, and he said out in the wilderness area, Route 2, all the way at the end, that the Jones area was the only area that there was some minimal concern. Are you hearing, I know you just got here and you got to get over to a briefing and you only got a couple minutes, are you hearing of any residential? I know that's what our residents want to hear. Are you hearing of any residential areas, or do you see it spreading in a area that residents should be concerned?
Currently, they're reinforcing those lines, and they're monitoring those lines day and night. So right now, they think they have it in check, and they continue, like I said, to reinforce those lines.
How big is this fire?
Well, as I said earlier, it was a little over 2,900 acres yesterday. It grew approximately 400 acres last night.
How many counties, or is it how many counties is this encompassing?
I understand it's mostly in Fannin County.
Mostly in Fannin? Mm-hmm. How many agencies get involved? How does the Forest Service, the United States Forest Service, how do you use the local resources that you have, and how many agencies do you think are involved?
Well, I can't tell you exactly how many, but I'm on an incident management team. We just came in this evening. The team is composed of various people from all different agencies, and that includes state agencies. We also work with the local county. You had the EMA people in earlier.
Yes.
So they were at our meeting last night, the brief, and we work closely with them on the incident, and that includes with local EMTs in case there's an incident. You know, everything is staged to prepare for any advancement, any incident within an incident, and they were definitely at the meeting, and we have constant contact with them.
Without some information, I keep reverting to, she just came in last night and has not had all the briefings, so we want to be fair to you, and we apologize for putting you on the spot for some of the questions. But a fire much like this, do we feel comfortable it can be contained within a matter of days, or do you know how long before we can get this contained and out, and what is generally here?
Well, you can't really speculate on the fire because it was in a backing down mode initially. It gave a different signs and symptoms, and basically it's really dependent on the weather and the vegetation. And as the weather changes, like today, and we're going into red flag warnings, we have to see what the high winds and lower relative humidity does. So we're preparing for that. They have strategies and tactics. That's why they've ordered in more resources to assess and prepare in case there is an increase. And like I said, they continue to reinforce containment lines.
Well, I know your focus is in there in the fire in the area that the fire is taking place, and the local level does a lot of the fire ban enforcement. But stress one more time for our viewers, although we did it earlier, the importance to adhering the fire ban, listening, and just tell us how important that is to adhere to that, and what is a total fire ban.
Well, the fire ban on the Chattahoochee Oconee means that if you're going to build a campfire, it has to be in a developed recreation area in a metal fire ring. So it would help us out if people would comply with that, because if there is another fire that occurs out here, then we'll have to take resources to work on that fire. And right now we want to focus on one thing, and it's this fire, and we'd ask the public to assist us in that, in complying with that restriction.
Well, we got to get you out there. We can't say enough of how much we appreciate you taking your time to do this, and we thank you so much. How do people keep up with information about this? Is there a web page? Is there a website? Where can people go to keep up with the status of the fire, or keep up with current information on the status?
Well, they can certainly go to the Chattahoochee Oconee website. There's a news and alerts section there, and news releases will be posted there. We also send them out to the news media. The Chattahoochee Oconee has a Facebook page, and all the fire information will be posted on the Facebook page. In addition, if there may be some closures, and some of the closures are listed on the website and on the Facebook page, but those people who are going out to recreate in the wilderness, if they would call into the district ranger's office to make sure of those closures, so that they're not in those areas where firefighters are, because they have to hike in to this fire as far as 14 miles. And so there's a lot of activity going on. It might impact recreation, and we ask visitors to check with their district ranger office or online to make sure about closures.
Thank you so much. As we are taking this serious here, and you, as well as you should too, we have this information for the Fannin County EMA and the United States Forest Service. This is a serious fire. There's a total fire ban, you heard earlier, and you have the information to keep up with the details. And I know if you go to FanninCountyFetcherNews.com, Laura Love is keeping those details up too, also there on the webpage. So we thank you very much. When we come back, we're going to take a brief break. We're at the shops at Sycamore Crossing in downtown Blue Ridge. We'll be back after these messages.
Pizza Hut makes great pizza, but they can't tell you what a gift it is. I can. They took a grilled cheese and combined it with stuffed crust pizza. To think, I almost wasn't here to try it.
How did
It's
you?
not important, Jan. What's important is that I watched the sunrise this morning. Then I got to stand in a room filled with this pizza. And later I'll stare at the ocean. Or maybe I'll learn Russian. Or listen to jazz. Or try my hand at needlework. Or open a door for a beautiful woman. Or read a human interest story, or make dessert wine. Or ride a wild horse. Or experiment with watercolors. Eat every slice like it's your last. Especially you, Doug. Especially Doug, right? You care about Doug. The grilled cheese stuffed crust pizza. Proof that no one outpieces the Hut.
This is the big one. The 20% off MSRP model year end clearance at Days Chevrolet in Jasper. With huge savings over $3,600 off the redesigned Malibu. Now just $20,400. Save over $8,600 off Silverado Crew Cab LT. Now just $33,500. 20% off new Chevys. Right here, right now. At Days Chevrolet in Jasper.
Better days ahead, Days Chevrolet.
Find new roads.
El Rey and Ellijay.
El Rey Mexican Restaurant.
Family owned and operated, and a local favorite for families, parties, and meetings.
Great prices.
Friendly service and delicious Mexican cuisine.
Patio dining available.
Come sing in Carlos's Cantina every Friday 9 to 1.
Eat in or take away.
Same location for 14 years. Open 7 days at the corner of Maddox Drive and 515. North Georgia's favorite Mexican cuisine. El Rey and Ellijay.
Pizza Hut makes the best pizza in the entire universe, but they won't tell you that. I've been marooned on this planet for a while now. You are an impressive race. Your children know excellent hiding places. Your oceans aren't filled with lava. And you figured out how to combine a grilled cheese sandwich with a Pizza Hut pizza. Surely interstellar travel will soon follow. And then I can finally get back home. Round. Round like home. The grilled cheese stuffed crust pizza. Proof that no one outpizzas the Hut.
Hey, I'm your host, BKP. Good morning from beautiful downtown Blue Ridge. We're at the Shop Sycamore Crossing, and we're now going to talk politics. Bruce is new to the show. He doesn't quite know what we're going to talk about this morning. So we want to welcome Bruce for the first time. He looks at me and says, hey, you know what we're going to talk about? I'm sorry, I had to do it.
Let's talk about the Cubs.
I was getting there. If you will just patiently wait. Would you wait for your could you wait for your introduction? And we have with us, if you just be patient, and we have with us, this guy went to Game 3 out at Wrigley Field, went to Game 3, Cubs fan, both these guys Cubs fans. We'll let them tell you where they're from. I'm not going to take that on myself. All right.
We're from Chicago.
Oh, okay. They're going to use the accent and all this morning. I know a couple guys.
That's right.
Anyhow, Rick, you went to Game. Glad to have you. I was very happy for you when you found out you were going to Game 3. What has it been? 107 years, 108 years. What is the number? 108, right? Don't want to get the number wrong. And you got to go to the first home World Series game in 108 years. Actually, at Wrigley Field, right? At Wrigley. They've never.
Fact check.
Oh my God.
Yeah, we're fact checking.
Well, who do you think you are, Hillary Clinton? If you're at home, could you start fact checking now?
She was a Cubs fan until she became a Mets fan.
Yeah. You guys, haven't we talked about drinking this early in the morning?
No.
Two of you showed up.
What's in that?
We talked about that. Now wait a minute. What's the fact?
The fact check is that they were in the World Series in 1945, post-war.
But lost.
Oh, but lost. Okay.
Okay, so they did play home games at Wrigley in 45.
Oh, okay.
And they were doing a 3-4 format then. Just minutia. 3-4 format. And by the way, there's 108 stitches on a baseball. That's just another little piece of trivia.
Yes, if I hear that one more time, if I hear 108 stitches and the curse is broken and
I don't believe in curses.
but well, it's fun. It's
Yeah,
fun.
it is fun.
I you know what? We are going to get into politics. Stay with us. But when we're into sports, you know, if the guy wears a pair of socks and he wins and he decides he's not washing those socks, he's going to play. I don't care, man. Let him play 100 games in those socks. That's what he thinks, you know?
Yeah,
So that's,
yeah.
to me, that's baseball. Tell us a little bit, Rick. You went out to Chicago. What
Yeah.
was the atmosphere like
5
there?
minutes after the Cubs clinched, my son called and he said, "Dad, I'm taking you to the World Series." Man, I was on cloud 9. I couldn't tell you. We went up for Game 3, and until you're in that atmosphere, it really is tough to describe because there are so many people and they're all rabid fans. I didn't see any Cleveland people. The whole time I was there, never saw any Cleveland fans. If they were there, they didn't admit it. Now, the Cubs lost, excuse me. However,
1-0. That was the 1-0 game,
That was a
right?
1-0 game.
Yeah.
It was a
Game
Jim
3.
Kyle Hendricks, you know.
Actually, you're on the losing end, and I know people like the hot bats, but I like a pitching game too.
Let me tell you.
That means you like soccer. You know, 1-0 scores.
Bruce is pushing it. I'm telling you.
But I've never.
It'll be like Uma Abedin and Wiener. If we go to commercial and come back and Bruce is not here, don't ask any questions.
Right. He's on his last campaign call.
Yeah.
Suicide watch.
Okay, let's get back.
I'm sorry.
No.
So anyway, they estimated 250,000 people outside the stadium, 42,000 people inside
Yeah.
the stadium. I mean, it was just. And we got there early afternoon thinking, well, you know, we're going to beat the crowd. People were lining up to get in the bars at 8 o'clock in the morning, and they were charging them minimum $100, $100 cover charge. And these were people without tickets. So they wanted to be in the mix, and they wanted to watch the television.
But you got your choice of Falstaff or Blatz.
Yeah, or old style. That's right.
All right, let me ask you a question,
Yes,
and this is going to require the truth. We got to no. This is
All right,
going
I'm
to
ready.
require the truth. Were you nervous when they had to go back to Cleveland and you're down 3 games to 1?
Are you kidding? That didn't even require thinking. And then.
Okay, you and I are texting each other,
Oh,
game
yeah.
9 and
Game 8, game 7, you mean?
No, I mean game 7. Yeah, 9 innings. We're texting each other 7th, 8th inning, and I'm thinking to myself, hey, please, can't just take the 5-1 lead. Please.
Make this
Yeah.
end. I got 6 emails from a friend of mine in California in succession. Please make it end. 4-1 Cubs. Please make it end. Please make it
Please.
Yeah.
I think I sent you one when he pulled the guy, and he's up 5-1, and I'm thinking, okay, work the bullpen.
Yeah.
And because I will tell you this, I always enjoy, this is one of the things, I'm a Yankee fan. No, we're not going to take up any time on that. Cubs get first billing here today. Okay, but when Torrey was with the Yankees, if he could get 5 innings out of a pitcher, I will say I thought he was one of the best managers at working a bullpen.
That's the way baseball is now. You know,
I mean, I
it didn't
remember.
used to be that
yeah,
way.
it didn't used to. But Norton would come in, throw 1 pitch, and then Torrey would call for somebody.
Yeah.
But anyhow, so I was hoping he'd work the bullpen, get this thing out. No, it just couldn't be that easy. Then we got a rain delay.
Yeah.
That's 105.
And I'm sitting by myself in Memphis in a Holiday Inn, you know, no one to root with, and I don't know whether I'm supposed to scream or just be quiet and get a big smile on my face. But, you know, I'm texting back and forth, my phone's blowing up, and it was...
Cubs fan your whole life?
Yeah, absolutely.
Cubs fans your whole life.
Yeah,
You're
both from Chicago.
You're both from Chicago, Cubs fans.
The
Well,
northwest suburbs.
huh?
The northwest suburbs.
Well, I'm glad to have these guys here. And Rick again was in attendance at Game 3 of the World Series at Wrigley Field, and I know that was exciting. So now it's time to
Ratchet up.
4 days. Let's switch gears. 4 days before the election. Let's see if we can continue the laughter. Okay. I wasn't going to go this direction, and I'll tell you why. I mean, we got all these things out here. I wasn't going to go this direction, but I am going to go Dr. Tidman, and when you get home, we got to clip this out. You have to share the 20 minutes Dr. Tidman was on this couch, because he gives Obamacare. I mean, we watch the doctor that they bring on Fox, and we watched all the analysts. But when you watch this is a doctor, this is a doctor sitting here in Blue Ridge, and he just destroys Obamacare. I mean, it's the best 20-minute clip. I'm telling you, it's the best 20-minute clip, and we have seen what Obamacare, we've seen this, rate hikes, we've seen all this in the last week, but the one thing he told me that just shot me out, they have to go and get permission for everything from the insurance. So if you go to your doctor and the doctor says, hey, I want to put you on this prescription, one of the reasons you're sitting in, and I'll be right back, one of the reasons you're sitting in the room for 20 minutes is they have to go call the insurance company and see if they'll let you have the prescription, pay for the prescription, you know. You may have a doctor come back and say your insurance company won't cover it, so we're going to have to try to move you to something else. So the other day he's listening to one of the ladies there at the front desk, and the lady is speaking in sentences, and he stopped her and he said, what are you doing?
Talking to a robot, right?
Talking to a computer, trying to get a patient. This is just shot. You got to listen to this segment. Trying to get a patient's prescription approved through a computer.
Wow.
I'm telling you, it's a mess. You ought to hear this guy.
But we didn't have to wait 7 years to get to this, though.
We knew that.
Knew from the get-go.
We knew that all along.
Yeah.
All along. Do you think that enough has come out and enough has settled and enough has sunk in? What do you think next Tuesday, Rick? Just let's go with that. What do you think next Tuesday?
Do I think enough has come out? There can't be enough to come out. Will it change things? I don't think so.
You don't think so?
I don't. I think the people that have made up their mind that they're going to support Hillary are in it to win it regardless. I don't think that's going to change their mind. There aren't that many people sitting on the fence. It's a polarized country. It's a polarized election. I talked to a buddy of mine from Hershey last night.
Yeah, Donald Trump's going to be there.
Well, I'm driving in. They're going to be there today. They got 3 big events in Hershey, one of which is the Trump deal. And he said, first time in his adult life, he said, I got a Trump sign in my front yard.
We're going to go with that in a go ahead.
Yeah, and he said.
So he's in Hershey. Let's set this up. He's in Hershey, Pennsylvania.
Just a little bit. Correct me if I'm wrong. West of your sister.
Yes,
who's in the
Hershey.
Lehigh
Hershey.
Valley.
Hershey is about no more than about an hour and 20 minutes west. Yeah, Hershey is just a little south. No, just a little north of Harrisburg. Harrisburg is the capital of Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
About 20 minutes north, and it is about only about 35 minutes west of Lancaster.
Right.
And that's in Reading. All right, those are areas you don't talk about.
Mm-hmm.
And first time he's in Hershey, PA. Trump's going to Hershey, PA.
He lived there all of his life, and he said, he said, I've driven around, I don't see any Hillary signs. He said, it's weird. He said, you hear that the polls are even, or she's ahead in Pennsylvania. Where's the support? These people are usually pretty vocal. There's no signs around. What's that deal? And we've heard that countrywide.
But that's why Melania was in Berwyn, suburb of Philadelphia. I mean, that's why she was there yesterday. Philadelphia suburbs. And Philadelphia Central City.
I will tell you this. What you're saying, and we're going to see Tuesday night, and we're going to see if my theory is real, because there are some articles on it now. Some people touched on it, but there are some serious articles now about it. Tom is in Wisconsin. He's a farmer. His farm touches 4 counties in Wisconsin.
That's the guy that you had
right.
on the show.
I had on the show.
Yeah.
Tom says he's up in Wisconsin. He's in the one county I talked to in Wisconsin, 43,000 population. Okay, but Tom's farm touches 4 counties in Wisconsin, and one of them is Barron County. He says no matter where he goes, he doesn't see a Clinton sign. Now I understand we're in North Georgia. Okay, and the area generally votes 72 to 76% Republican. You're going to see some Clinton signs, but you're just not going to see them. He says he doesn't see signs. Hershey, Pennsylvania, you say he just doesn't see. And he's got a Trump first time, but he's got one in the yard.
Got one in the front yard.
Okay.
But tell him the counterpoint where you just were.
Yeah. Now I was in Western Tennessee, in downtown Memphis, and I got to tell you, it was scary how many Hillary signs I saw. I mean, it was just.
And no Trump signs.
No Trump signs.
In downtown Memphis.
Downtown Memphis. Now, would you expect that? Yeah, probably. I lived there for a year, but I don't know. A lot of Hillary signs in Memphis.
I think it points up, flyover country. The central part of the U.S. is basically all red.
Well, I asked you that. What do you think next Tuesday night, Bruce? Do you think there's been enough come out? Do you think, you say it doesn't make a difference. Do you think, yes or no, do you think Trump wins Tuesday night?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, you think he wins?
Yes.
What makes you think that?
The whole concept of shy voter. I think there's a lot of people that are just
Shy,
keeping
I
their
like
cards
that.
really close to their vests, and they don't want to be known in public as being a Trump supporter, so they're just biting their tongue, and they'll do their talking when they get in the booth.
We're sitting in a county here that has already. Now, this is my theory, and I'm going to say I had it the strongest first. I'm going to say that. I don't care how many viewers I got, 50 viewers or 50,000.
You don't.
I feel. There's a lot of things I don't know, Bruce. I feel.
He caught that.
Yeah, I can hear every once in a while. Now you got me in trouble because now my wife's at home saying, "I knew you could hear. You're just not listening to me." You are a troublemaker today.
I'm telling you, he's off the
You grew
rails.
up with this guy, huh?
Yeah, I did
No,
grow up
Bruce,
with
I think this county here, they're going to say it's not a fair judgment, but already 29%, as of noon yesterday, 29% of registered voters have voted in this county. Enormous. It's through the roof. The lady here, Miss Connors, has been doing the elections for years, never seen this. We're seeing information saying that people are not rushing to the polls to vote for Hillary. They're not rushing, to the polls to
Low
vote for Hillary.
enthusiasm.
Right.
Yeah.
That being said, the Democrats know that the rural America, if given the chance, is going to put Trump in the White House. That's simple enough. If rural America, I'm talking about Hershey, Pennsylvania, I'm talking about Lancaster even, Pennsylvania, I'm talking about out western Pennsylvania. There's a reason why they went to Pittsburgh. Hillary went to Pittsburgh. I think she's there today or went yesterday, she's going today. Mm-hmm. There's a reason why Obama, they're having a star-studded event Monday night in Philadelphia. The last night, they're going to Obama, Hillary, Biden, I think all of them. Monday night,
Bill,
a star,
Chelsea.
everybody in Philly, right?
Well, and up until then, it's saturation bombing. They're everywhere.
Well, their fear is if a county that has 30,000 votes, if these rural counties send out 20,000 of them to Donald Trump, they're in trouble.
Yeah.
What doesn't make sense is you hear the media saying, well, the early voting, that's going to help Hillary. Why do they say that?
Well, if we're this close to an election, I got to help you with that answer. The media say, why do they say that? And I got to.
I think it's traditional metrics.
Yeah,
how these things have rolled out in the past, and I don't know.
Well, I understand what you're saying, but I was thinking why do they say? It's simple. I remember years ago being told the media was biased, and
Is that when you decided to get into it?
No, but
Good.
I knew the media was biased, but I've never seen it as clear as this is a phone. I've never seen it as clear as this. And they don't even care anymore. They're out there.
No, I was making that statement
I
rhetorically.
Right.
But the point is, if you just look at it on the surface, you look at the crowds at the Trump rallies, and you look at the crowds at Hillary rallies.
Well, I wouldn't call them crowds.
Well, did you see the email? That was the funniest thing I've ever seen. Count the circles. They showed that rally of Hillary's, and it was photoshopped, and they had the same head in 20 different times.
Well, see, what's happening is they're having them
Guy
in.
with a bald head.
Yeah, with a bald head.
They're having these Clinton gatherings in these areas where they put a sign at one side of the door that says free lunch, and you have to go through the auditorium to get to the cafeteria, and they're asking you to stop for about 15 minutes.
Like a timeshare
Yeah,
deal.
stop. If you'll listen to
Listen for 45 minutes.
yeah, if you'll just
we
sit
might
for
let you
45 minutes
follow
and hear the pitch. Okay.
And you just see the side of their heads as they're walking through. They don't even look at the stage.
I think you're 100% right, okay, on that. I'm going to take a brief break because I have something here. We got about 20 more minutes of politics.
Bombshell?
No. I have something here that I want to go right off of what you said. And there's some commercials out right now that just really I can't believe it. I always see commercials and think, how can they write this stuff and put it up and sleep at night? And I don't understand it. I'm your host, BKP. We'll be right back from downtown beautiful Blue Ridge, FYNTV.com after these messages.
Pizza Hut makes great pizza, but they can't tell you what a gift it is. I can. They took a grilled cheese and combined it with stuffed crust pizza. To think, I almost wasn't here to try it.
How did
It's
you...
not important, Jan. What's important is that I watched the sunrise this morning. Then I got to stand in a room filled with this pizza. And later I'll stare at the ocean. Or maybe I'll learn Russian. Or listen to jazz. Or try my hand at needlework. Or open a door for a beautiful woman. Or read a human interest story, or make dessert wine. Or ride a wild horse. Or experiment with watercolors. Eat every slice like it's your last. Especially you, Doug. Especially Doug, right? You care about Doug. The grilled cheese stuffed crust pizza. Proof that no one outpieces the Hut.
This is the big one. The 20% off MSRP model year end clearance at Days Chevrolet in Jasper. With huge savings over $3,600 off the redesigned Malibu. Now just $20,400. Save over $8,600 off Silverado Crew Cab LT. Now just $33,500. 20% off new Chevys. Right here, right now. At Days Chevrolet in Jasper.
Better days ahead, Days Chevrolet.
Find new roads.
El Rey and Ellijay.
El Rey Mexican Restaurant.
Family owned and operated and a local favorite for families, parties, and meetings.
Great prices.
Friendly service and delicious Mexican cuisine.
Patio dining available.
Come sing in Carlos's Cantina every Friday 9 to 1.
Eat in or take away.
Same location for 14 years. Open 7 days at the corner of Maddox Drive and 515. North Georgia's favorite Mexican cuisine. El Rey and Ellijay.
Pizza Hut makes the best pizza in the entire universe, but they won't tell you that. I've been marooned on this planet for a while now. You are an impressive race. Your children know excellent hiding places. Your oceans aren't filled with lava. When you figured out how to combine a grilled cheese sandwich with a Pizza Hut pizza, surely interstellar travel will soon follow. And then I can finally get back home. Round. Round like home. The grilled cheese stuffed crust pizza, proof that no one out-pizzas the Hut.
And we're back. I'm your host, BKP. Good morning from beautiful downtown Blue Ridge. We're at the shops at Sycamore Crossing. I have Tupelo Tea, which New Blue Home and Gift, and the Broken Bull. And our star of the show, sorry guys, is here and is in the green room. The Star doesn't know it's not in the green room, so don't tell it, okay? Our pet of the week from the Humane Society of Blue Ridge is here waiting, but we're going to talk a little more politics before we get to the start of the show. I'm here with Rick and Bruce. Guys, last weekend, time-wise, if we started going through the newest WikiLeaks dumps, if we started going through all of that, if we started going through Clinton, ISIS funded by the same money, if we start going through all that, we get in the weeds. And I don't mean to say it like that. There is a number out there throughout the election when people were polled, and I'm not going to go to the poll numbers, but when people are polled throughout the election, not candidate for candidate, the thing that was number one to them, it's always been the economy. The economy's always made, you with me? Mm-hmm. It's always made in the name of one, okay? Mm-hmm. And I'll never forget, this goes back several years in an election, and my dad's always called his wallet his pocketbook, the pocketbook. So I said, so I really couldn't understand this one election, and I think it was the one against George Bush and Bill Clinton. And the economy was downhill at that time, George Sr. Mm-hmm. And I could not believe, because at that time we didn't have the internet, we had ABC, NBC, CBS, but at that time there was even stuff out about the Clintons then, you know, that people like you and I that research, we were reading. So I looked at my dad and I said, I cannot believe people will actually go to the polls and vote for that guy. He just looked at me real simply and said, American people vote their pocketbook, son. They vote their pocketbook. Yeah. If their pocketbook's okay on the day of election, they're okay. If it's not. So, I mean, I'm just saying, I think the economy is a big enough issue for Trump to win alone.
I would agree. And again, I don't know what the job number was. It just came out.
94 million Americans, 94,609,000 are not in the labor force. They're not in the labor force today. We're teetering on 100 million people are not in the labor force today.
Get your hand out.
But I mean, I don't know. I think Trump wins. I think he wins Tuesday night. What you said about the media, are you not amazed? Because I have to check myself. Are you not amazed? Are you not looking for the person that looks into the camera? Because I do this every day, and I say go to commercial, and then Cole and I have 4 minutes, and then we come back. Are you not looking for the person, the one person that says everything they're saying, and when they go to commercial, looks over at their producer and says, I don't know how much longer I can lie like this. No, I'm serious, because I know the feeling. Like, I'm looking at you, and I take it so serious of what I'm telling you. You know, I cut up and have fun, but if I'm getting into a segment, when I go to break, I check myself internally and say, I'm trying to bring you some information. I got to live with myself.
You wonder how some of these media celebrities, I guess you call them.
Folks.
Yeah. I mean, if they leave Fox and then they go to CNN, do they just all of a sudden, what do they do? Or are they just that transparent, or are they that shallow that they just blither out what's put in front of them? I guess the latter.
Well, I mean, it's a job, and again, it's an ideology for them. I think, no, it has to be this way because the Democrats are, caring, and they reach out for the poor, and they let in immigrants, and da-da-da-da-da. It's just their mindset of this is the way the U.S. has to be.
Well, it's like I said yesterday.
And it's perverted.
If you tell me you'll give me $1 million to wear a clown suit, send the suit, send the check. I'm wearing the clown suit. Okay? Yeah, send it in. But I'm still going to be the same person in the clown suit. I will not sell that out. Was that funny? Because you're going to get it later. You're going to get it later. I'll still be the same clown. I'll still be the same clown I was yesterday.
I mean, all I thought was scary clown.
No!
He's looking around some dark corner.
I will be the clown that I'm here today. I'll never change the constitution of my clowning around. Do you understand? I mean, if somebody... Look here, bozo. If somebody, wants, hey, wear a clown... when you say go to CNN or whatever, if I would tell you this, MSNBC, it's not going to happen. Well, it's not going to happen. But they call me up and say, we want you to do an hour. Okay? Okay, here's the deal. Here's how much I want. Here's what we want to do.
And no restrictions?
No restrictions, right.
Absolutely.
I'm doing the hour.
Ooh.
But you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That I won't change. I'm just looking for one of them to come on the air and their producer's sitting over there and just say, you know what? They don't know I'm doing this over here, but I can't come to you and lie anymore like this. I mean, do you ever wonder, like, which one's going to break one
Got a
day?
clown suit in my eye.
You better shut up.
I'm sorry.
I'll be the same clown every day. I promise. That's my commitment to the field. Same clown every day.
Yeah.
All right. Huh? Okay, you get out of it. It's enough. So anyhow, I think Trump will win. I do think Trump will win. I don't know. I sit here and I wonder. There's a lot of things that are a mystery to Obamacare is not a mystery to me. I mean, we knew it would fail. Actually, WikiLeaks is only confirming to us things we basically knew. I mean, we knew these things were happening. We knew we didn't have enough details on it. They're giving us the details. They're dotting the I's, crossing the T's. They're confirming our suspicions. But for us, a lot of this we already knew.
True.
Now, what happens short time if she gets elected? We'll tell you. She gets elected. You say Trump will win, Trump will win, Trump will win. Okay. What happens if she gets elected Wednesday morning?
Well,
on all of this, the FBI,
we don't have
everything.
a victory party #1, and the muscadine bottle stays.
Yeah, it wouldn't, the seal won't crack on the muscadine wine. We agree with that. So, okay, we have FBI investigations. We are pretty sure we're pretty sure there's an indictment coming. We have 2 emails on Wiener's laptop that were not duplicates that have from the State Department, and the 2 emails that are on, I'm going to say 2, there may be more as we speak, that are on the laptop that are not from the Justice Department. They're ones that she didn't turn over. They're not duplicates. So we're finding they lied in how many they turned over. Did they turn?
What a shock.
Okay. But anyhow, so let's say all these investigations are headed towards indictment, prison for people. What happens Wednesday?
I'm in the car for quite a while driving.
She gets elected, though. What happens Wednesday?
And the question was asked of Jay Sekulow.
Yes.
He had a radio show, and it
Yes.
was pretty interesting that someone called in and said, okay, she gets elected. Can we use these WikiLeaks emails against her? Unequivocally, he said no. He said because they're stolen. What they have to do is they have to go in if they want to use them. If they want to try to use that as an indictment, they have to go in and they have to verify. They have to
get warrants. I mean,
they have to get warrants. You have to produce the original records, balance them against the WikiLeaks. Now, even though these people are not denying anything, it's going to be tough. I think it's going to be tough. It's going to be a long process to.
So remember, the question is, she wins.
Right.
Okay, so you think they'll still proceed, and I mean, you got the theory. Will Obama? Just the thought of this. The theory's out. Will Obama pardon her? Okay. The theory's out. Will she pardon herself?
Pardon herself.
All right.
Yeah.
All those theories are out there. They're out there. Okay.
Yeah.
So Wednesday, if she wins, everything continues.
Yeah.
I think the Comey's got to man up. I mean, and really, continue to do what he seems to be doing now. That'll be an open question. But then I think the Senate and House committees are going to have to dig in and just say.
I got a message that said if she wins, they're definitely cracking the bottle. So, they're cracking the bottle. All right. So you think if she wins, they continue to.
I think the House and Senate committees really just have to dig in and grind it out. And that gets into the ballot race.
Okay, well, obviously I asked you because I have an opinion.
Please.
If she wins, nothing happens. It's over. It's done. If the American people you have a president of the United States that is standing on a stage as we speak We have a president of the United States that basically went on TV and gave code word to FBI, leave it alone. We have a president of the United States that is going on the stage and saying this is the most qualified person. Okay, you have a president of the United States saying this is the most qualified person. This is the person. You have a president of the United States accusing Donald Trump of being KKK friendly. All right, you have this going on as we speak here. You have every piece of evidence you need. And if you think two things, I'm going to predict, if you think two things on Wednesday morning, her president-elect, that A, she will not serve, 2, she will be impeached. No, it's over. Who do you call? Do you call Obama and say, hey, it's a constitutional crisis? Oh, yeah, let me get right on the phone with the Department of Justice and see how we can work this out. Sorry, it's over. She does it.
On top of the world, we call the Ghostbusters.
We'll have to, because I'm telling you right now, if she wins Wednesday, everybody's hopes out there, oh, she'll get impeached. No, she won't. Oh, she'll get indicted. No, she won't. Yeah. She may get indicted. She'll get pardoned. She'll serve every minute of it. She is beholden to some globalists with some power. Okay.
That's for sure. Yeah.
That she is beholden to some people. There's a reason. There's 20 of them out there, and she will serve every day. And your Republican Congress will not remove her.
So it'll be a molasses government. Everything's just going to be.
Yeah. You've seen the email.
Slow-mo.
The slog is in place.
No, I mean we have the highest rate. I know nobody wants to hear that. I mean, because nobody wants to hear on Wednesday, if this lady is president of the United States, nobody wants to hear that nothing will happen. But I'm going to tell you now, my money is on, really? You think that this woman, I told people the other day, I got to tiptoe on some conspiracy here.
Is that thin ice?
Thin ice. Remember that? We talked about that the other day, and you're supposed to be helping me with thin ice.
Well, I've got a consulting.
All right, so if you see, now we can't let you in. If you see me on thin ice, if you had to pull me back because you see a soft spot, let me know.
Yep.
Here's what I think. Now listen to this. You pay attention. I like to flip it around. They have put 650,000 emails in what they call the supercomputer, right? Mm-hmm. Okay. And they tell us that the government's got the supercomputer and they can start sorting it down. Duplicates, this. They could sort it down and isolate it to the next level called eyes only, meaning it has to go to a certain classified eyes. Mm-hmm. But you both have heard that this computer can sort through all this stuff, right? If you think Wednesday morning that she's not going to put Trump in that supercomputer, and she's going to narrow down to everybody that said Donald Trump and she was crooked and needed to go to prison, and you may have a visit, you have lost your mind. That's what I think.
Well,
I think oh my
God. Do you think she will accomplish anything? I mean, do you think she'll be able to reach across the aisle and work with anybody? I mean, do you think she's...
Our institutions are in shambles. Forget her. We don't have a Department of Justice. We don't have an FBI. We don't have a Supreme Court, fellas. We have a 4-4 in the Supreme Court that's going nowhere.
You still have a House and you still have a Senate. Are they going to do anything?
Have they?
No.
Let's go the other way. What happens if Trump gets elected? What do we got?
Well, the biggest news this morning, if Trump gets elected, the biggest news should be on every front page. George Stephanopoulos' wife said they're moving to Australia. Come on now, there's a reason. There is definitely a reason to go vote for Trump now.
They're going to take him, huh?
If Trump gets elected Wednesday morning, I don't know, I'll be drunk.
That'll be a first in a long time.
No, I'm not really. I'm not really, folks. I'm not really. All right. I don't know what rolls out Wednesday morning if he gets elected, because first of all, if he gets elected Wednesday morning, they say it jokingly, but I think it emboldens. You don't wait. I will say this: Wednesday, if he's elected, we don't wait for his inauguration to move. And it's not going to.
You're not kidding.
You're going to have the FBI. I'm going to give them 5 days. The indictment will come down. Oh yeah. I'm going to give them 5 days. The indictment will come down. I'm going to give them I'm going to give all the things we've been waiting on 5 days, and they're going to start coming out, because people are going to say, we're going with the indictment. We're going with this. We're going, I don't know. I will say this. I told you this yesterday. Wednesday, I do know what happens on the Democrat side. It's the crime family. They are a crime family, period. You have the head of the crime family. You have the 5 families. You have the capos, right? Capos.
Consiglieres.
That's Podesta. Right. You have your consigliere. You have the capos. You got Cheryl Mills. They're the capos. Then you have your associates. Okay, right? I know how. I know the layers. Okay. Now the associates. Okay, the rats. They're going to jump real quick to get a deal. Wednesday morning, the FBI will have to put new staff on with Democrat associates in the crime family calling saying, "What kind of deal can we make?" Guarantee that.
You're going to find Wiener's head in a bed.
Yes. All right, last word. I have to get to the start of the show. What? Oh, Friday. Remember I said earlier in the week, Friday, something happens before the day's out. I know we got the new WikiLeaks, we got things on here, but I just have felt anything. Yes, something falls
Will it
today.
make a difference? Will it make a difference?
Could.
What's the show
Last
format
word.
on Monday?
Huh?
What's the show format on Monday? What
Not
are you
for
going to
sure.
do?
Not for sure.
Are you going to do this get out the vote thing? Or are you
Yeah, I'm part of the ground game. Yeah, we heard Trump had no ground game. Yeah, I'm on the ground game.
He tries out the clown house outfit.
I can't help it. I mean, I can't help it because I'm trying to think of a way. Like if some, first of all, our business is dedicated to and always will be dedicated to. I'm not going to alter the information for the almighty dollar, but I can't tell you we don't need a dollar to run the operation.
Well,
that's the flip side.
It's
all
fun
right.
to listen to you because you don't compromise your values. So.
Yeah.
But they still like money when I go to the grocery store. They don't take my jokes. they don't take any of my none of my stick. Last word. Come on, Bruce. What this weekend? Tuesday.
I just hope every American gets anybody that they know that never votes out to vote, and we'll just see where the chips lay.
I think, Rick, you hit a home run with your friend from Hershey, Pennsylvania, that never put a sign in the yard and has not seen the enthusiasm like they have now, and is not seeing the Clinton signs in Pennsylvania. And I just don't think...
That's what gives me hope.
Well, I just don't think in an area like this we are in contact enough outside of this area to know that that's where rural America is. Trump may win Iowa, which is the first time Obama won that twice. So I think it's important to look at where they're going. Trump's not holding a rally in Georgia. Trump's not holding a rally in Texas, okay? Obama and them are in Pennsylvania, Detroit,
North Carolina.
Detroit, Pennsylvania, where they're at. And they are calling everything in. And I have to tell you something. When you talk about selling out, I'll look at this camera and say it live. I will walk off and leave before I do what Bernie Sanders did. I will walk off and leave. I mean, as you said, 50 to 5,000 or 50,000 viewers, I will walk off and leave before I turn on everybody and do what Bernie Sanders did to his voters. Yeah. He did it to his voters to stand next to that woman after we see how he was treated. Oh, one more thing I want to go before I go. I don't want to forget this. I keep hearing about the children, and I keep hearing about how Trump talks. Do you want your children to really hear that? And I keep hearing about breaking a glass ceiling. I am tired of the insult to women. I am flat tired of the insult to women, because I do think that we are ready in this country for a woman president.
Absolutely.
But I do not think breaking the glass ceiling calls for cheating. And I don't think I want a woman, I don't think I want to tell my daughter, my granddaughter, or any kids that you can be president one day as a woman in the United States of America if a black woman, Donna Brazile, goes to CNN, gets the questions, and gives them to you so you could cheat on the test. There you go. That's breaking the ceiling.
And how could
How can that not be one of the biggest things? You really want kids to know that you've achieved the highest office through cheating.
And anyone who commits treason, shouldn't be in the office of president.
Right? You understand?
Absolutely. Yeah.
So I'm your host, BKP. It's time for the star of the show. We're running a little long now. We got our last segment here, and we'll be right back with the star of the show from the Humane Society here in Blue Ridge. I'm your host, BKP. Thank you, Rick and Bruce, for always coming here. It's our last week. Next Friday, maybe we have a celebration Friday.
Spring training is, never mind. I won't
Spring
go there.
training. Yeah, well, listen, we know there's 108 stitches on the baseball, 108 years, and we know the Cubs won.
Yes.
Cubs
won, by the way.
win.
Hey, we'll be back after these messages. Cole, take us a break.
Pizza Hut makes great pizza, but they can't tell you what a gift it is. I can. They took a grilled cheese and combined it with stuffed crust pizza. To think, I almost wasn't here to try it.
How did
It's
you?
not important, Jan. What's important is that I watched the sunrise this morning. Then I got to stand in a room filled with this pizza. And later I'll stare at the ocean. Or maybe I'll learn Russian. Or listen to jazz. Or try my hand at needlework. Or open a door for a beautiful woman. Or read a human interest story, or make dessert wine. Or ride a wild horse. Or experiment with watercolors. Eat every slice like it's your last. Especially you, Doug. Especially Doug, right? You care about Doug. The grilled cheese stuffed crust pizza. Proof that no one outpieces the Hut.
This is the big one. The 20% off MSRP model year end clearance at Days Chevrolet in Jasper. With huge savings over $3,600 off the redesigned Malibu. Now just $20,400. Save over $8,600 off Silverado Crew Cab LT. Now just $33,500. 20% off new Chevys. Right here, right now. At Days Chevrolet in Jasper.
Better days ahead, Days Chevrolet.
Find new roads.
El Rey and Elijah.
El Rey Mexican Restaurant.
Family owned and operated, and a local favorite for families, parties, and meetings.
Great prices.
Friendly service and delicious Mexican cuisine.
Patio dining available.
Come sing in Carlos's Cantina every Friday 9 to 1.
Eat in or take away.
Same location for 14 years. Open 7 days at the corner of Maddox Drive and 515. North Georgia's favorite Mexican cuisine. El Rey and Elijah.
Pizza Hut makes the best pizza in the entire universe, but they won't tell you that. I've been marooned on this planet for a while now. You are an impressive race. Your children know excellent hiding places. Your oceans aren't filled with lava. And you figured out how to combine a grilled cheese sandwich with a Pizza Hut pizza. Surely interstellar travel will soon follow. And then I can finally get back home. Round. Round like home. The grilled cheese stuffed crust pizza. Proof that no one out-pizzas the Hut.
Hey, and we're back, and it's time for the star of the show from the Humane Society of Blue Ridge. I'm here. Who do I have here today?
This is Jigs.
Jigs. The Jigs up. Hey, Jigs, how are you? Oh my gosh, Jigs is fine. Okay, we know you're the star. Could you give us a minute to introduce you? You started singing before we told them what the song would be. Oh, I like this guy. This is Jigs.
Jigs is cool.
You are, oh my gosh.
Yes, you're a good boy.
Rena tried to tell us who Jigs is, and we have Rena with us from the Humane Society of Blue Ridge, and Jigs is ready to find a home.
Yes, he is. Jigs is about a year old. He's listed as a terrier, but we do believe there might be some Basenji in him. If you look up a Basenji, they have these ears, this coloring.
I know, I'm a troublemaker.
Jigs is a little high energy. So a home for him would definitely need a fenced-in yard. He definitely needs human companionship.
Chill.
Hiking. He loves not boating.
You
swimming.
smack me one more time. Go
He
ahead.
loves the
Go
water.
ahead.
He's great in the car. Give him kisses. Give him kisses. He jumped right in the
Let me see your
truck.
choppers. Are you You got choppers? Let me check them. Let me check them.
Give him kisses. Give him kisses.
I get my dog Sassy by the, I get her by the mouth and just say, let me check your choppers. God, she loves that. Let me check your choppers. Let me check them. Let me check them. Let me check them. Let me check them. Are they okay? Are they okay?
He's gonna show you.
Maybe I shouldn't do that, children. Okay, let's try to get serious here,
Anyway,
Jigs, for a
okay.
minute.
So Jigs would be a great companion for anyone who wants a dog by their side for everything. I mean, just take him everywhere. He's great in the car. Hiking would be good. Swimming, boating.
How old is Jigs?
Jigs about a year. He's right
Yeah,
at a year old.
he will calm down.
Yeah, he'll
You
calm
know,
down.
he will.
Yeah.
He will calm down. He's just excited this morning to be out, and he's at the shelter, and he's only a year old. He's a pup.
He loves retrieving. He loves playing with toys. He does well with the other dogs, running up and down the fence. And see these beautiful ears?
Yes.
He's a beautiful dog. He's just a
Beautiful
great
color,
little-
too.
Yes,
Yes.
beautiful color. He's great human companion. But if you want a dog to jog with you, he'd be good for that.
All right already.
Give him a kiss.
All right, come over here. You want to come over here? Come on over here. Here's how it's going to work. You understand? You and I are going to have a talk. We're going to have a talk right now. Oh, my gosh. Oh, I'm in trouble. Is this on film?
Yes.
Ow! Boo, 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 boo. Hey, get your chops up. Okay, tell me how many cats we have out there. I'll entertain Jigs. You tell the talk to the
Okay.
people.
I'm not quite sure how many cats we have, but both cats and dogs, we have a variety of low energy, medium energy, high energy. You really need to come out and tell us what you're looking for, and we can find the right pet for you, the right companion for you. If you want a cat that just walks by you and you pet it on the head, we have those. If you want one that sits in your lap and loves on you, we have those. Dogs, we have couch potatoes, we have high energy, playful dogs. And then we have medium, which could be a couch potato or a playful dog. So really come out to the shelter and look at all of our wonderful animals. They all need loving homes. They all need companionship. And we can find exactly the correct match for you. And we'd love to have you come out. I plan to spend a little bit of time with them so we can show you the personalities, the different personalities and everyone that we have out there. And we are located at 171 Mineral Springs Road. If you want to call us at 706-632-4357. Follow us on Facebook and you'll see all of our dogs that we have in. The puppies should be in later November, probably early December. They're getting nice and fat. We do have another puppy right now, Haley. She's about a 4-month-old shepherd mix. She can't be seen or touched right now. She's still in intake, but probably in another week or so, she'll be out of intake and in general pop, and I'll bring her, you know, maybe to the next one. Could be for 2 of them.
I'm trying to pay attention, but at the same time, I'm trying to keep an eye on Jigs here. Yes, they're going to all know you were on the show everywhere I go today. But it is my own fault. It is my own fault. I will accept that. I will take responsibility.
Here, put the ball there. There you go.
Now, let me ask you one question. How's the puppies? Did you mention that and I wasn't paying attention?
Yes, I did. The puppies are good. They're weaned from their mom. Their mom got adopted. Darcy was adopted. Oh, guess who left? Snoopy.
Snoopy?
Snoopy got adopted. He was our 6-year-old. He got adopted, went to a wonderful home. And, of course, Baxter and Miles and Cheyenne and Lola and Patrick are all still with us. And Tyson and Jigs
You know, Jigs
here.
probably wouldn't be half as bad if I wasn't here, because I just, this is,
Yeah,
I have to
it's
tell you
all
now, folks, when I tell you that this is what closes out my week, and I tell you, it's just a blessing because I get to close out the week and meet one of these great dogs every week, and I enjoy it so much. Let me just say to you, the Humane Society of Blue Ridge, they do an outstanding job of matching up the dogs with a home, a family. They have dogs over there that you know, if you just need a companion dog and you're elderly and just need somebody to stay there with you, they have perfect dogs. They can help you as far as if you already have dogs in the family. Maybe some dogs are not good with other dogs, and they will do a meet and greet with the dogs, and they will help you decide if the dog you choose will work well within your family and other dogs. So they go through all of that. It's very intense, and the dogs have all their shots, and they've been through intake. What that means is when they go through intake is they go through what I'll just call a checklist before they're available to be adopted. So they do a great job over there at the Humane Society of Blue Ridge. One more time, Rena, how do we find you?
We are at 171 Mineral Springs Road, which is just off of Aska. Call us 706-632-4357. Like us on Facebook. Go to humanesocietyofblueridge.org. You can fill out the pre-adoption form, come in and see any of the animals, come in and see them first, and then fill out the form. We just love for all of our animals to get adopted and go to fun-loving homes. And if you are looking for definitely a best friend, Jigs is your man.
I agree with that. Jigs, you're all right. I'm telling you. Now, did you find out you were the star of the show? Is that what you found out? Is it? Now what are you checking out? Hey, Humane Society of Blue Ridge, don't forget, FYNTV.com. We'll be back Monday morning at 8 a.m. Every Monday morning at 8 a.m. From 8 to 11. And don't forget, next week, come down and join us next week because we're going to be at the Vault. And we're going to be broadcasting from the Vault. We've enjoyed all summer here, and we knew we're happy to be going indoors, but we knew that sooner or later, weather permitting, and we pushed it all the way into November. And I love being out here, but we're going to have to make the move to the Vault next week, which we're looking forward to that. Come over and have a cup of coffee with us. And again, Monday through Friday, 8 to 10. Now follow us on Facebook. Follow us on Twitter at Fetcher News, hashtag Team FYN Sports, and follow all of your teams tonight as they're on the sideline. Union, Dawson, Fannin, Gilmer, Pickens, all of them. Check them out tonight. Are you making faces while I'm talking?
He was following the other dog.
What are you doing behind my back? Come over and take Jinx home with you today, or one of the many others. We're going to close out our program now. We want to thank you. Don't forget, we gave you those great updates. There's a total burn ban. You heard that from the Fannin EMA. Total burn ban. Campfires, leaves, garbage, it's a total. And you've also heard it's red flag weather. Red flag weather, meaning this wind, a small fire could get out of hand very quickly. So no burning, total ban. You heard that. We will keep you updated on that. And I don't know what else I have to keep you updated on, because I can. What did you see now?
A car.
I'm your host.
Interested in everything.
I'm your host, BKP. Good morning from beautiful downtown Blue Ridge. Don't forget, come over and say hello to Carla at Tupelo Tea. Say hello at the new Blue Holman Gift and Broken Bowl. And Cole, let's get out of here, wrap it up, and enjoy this beautiful holiday weekend. Is a holiday weekend, or did I just say that?
You just said that.
Well, maybe it's my own holiday.
Okay, it's a holiday weekend.
I mean, my holiday weekend? A holiday weekend for me is nothing to do. I'm your host. We'll be back Monday.